With its dense network of protruding roots and decaying atmosphere, the maze-like world of the mangrove is not particularly inviting. But despite first impressions, mangroves are intriguing. This is where three major ecosystems meet, an unusual union of land, salt water from the sea, and fresh river water. The mangrove swamp is not an easy environment. Throughout the day, the landscape changes from seawater to almost pure river water. The soil is saturated with salt and lacking in oxygen. Despite such hostile conditions, the mangrove teems with life. It ranks with the rainforest and the coral reefs as one of the most productive ecosystems on Earth. Firmer areas of mud offer refuge to burrowing animals, the most noticeable being the numerous species of crabs. Fiddler crabs are widely represented in Malaysia. Only the male sports a colourful enlarged pincer. He waves this appendage to advertise his territory and to attract females. Crabs are able to sense the incoming tide well before the water reaches them and will usually feed right until the last moment on the surface of the mud. The mud skipper is an unusual visitor with amphibious abilities. To leave its watery habitat, it takes a bit of the sea with it. During breeding, a courting male often leaps to attract the female's attention. When confronted by a rival, he puts up a fierce fight with raised dorsal fins and threatening jaws. Mildly venomous, the dog-faced water snake has a remarkable side-winding capability that enables it to move across the mud with ease to search for food. The snake has managed to capture an unwary mud skipper. The mud skipper is immobilized by the snake's venom and will be eaten whole. Shorebirds relish a delightful buffet of worms, crustaceans, and mollusks in the mud. From October to May, Malaysia's mangroves are important wintering grounds and stopovers for migrating birds from as far north as Russia and Japan. Such long flights sap up reserves of body fat. Their energy needs to be replenished before continuing the long journey south towards Australia. Quite often, though, migrants fly no further than Malaysia. Larger wading birds like egrets, herons and storks also hunt along mangrove shores, in the shallows of the sea or along tidal channels. The elegant and gentle milky stork is one of the most endangered birds on Earth. Having had its fill, the stork will retire to the treetops. The black-crowned night heron also chooses a stand of mangrove trees to roost. When breeding, it sports two elongated white nuchal feathers down its nape, while its legs turn red. The mangroves provide a home for many birds. Malaysia is home to over 60 mangrove tree species, making it a global hub for mangrove diversity. To survive in conditions that are unstable, salty, waterlogged, and anaerobic, mangroves evolve unique features. Each family overcomes environmental challenges in its own way. Taking refuge within the mangrove trees are the otters. These gregarious creatures move in groups of 2 to 12 animals. Male and female bonds are very strong in the otter family. Monkeys feed on mangrove leaves, nectar and fruit. One of the most bizarre of leaf-eating primates is the proboscis monkey. Found only in the lowlands of Borneo, it is capable of processing masses of tough, low-grade mangrove leaves. Distinguished by a pointed tuft of hair on its head, the silverleaf monkey is a mangrove inhabitant. Juveniles are strikingly different, but their fur will gradually change to match their parents. The male will lead troops of 5 to 10 individuals into the night. Once the sun has set, the mangrove forest assumes a different persona. This is when fireflies emerge. Males gather in large numbers to blink in unison, lighting up entire trees. This breathtaking display is to attract females. Besides sustaining diverse wildlife, mangroves play a major role in maintaining the well-being of coasts and the wider marine environment. The mangrove forest protects our coasts from the ravages of the sea by acting as natural wind and wave breakers and by stabilizing shifting shorelines. Mangroves trap silt and filter pollution from the water column. In this way, they reduce hazards that can seriously affect our seagrass beds and coral reefs. At high tide, the young of many marine species seek refuge and food within a sheltered environment formed by the tangled roots of mangroves. This is an important nursery and feeding zone that sustains many commercially important species of the open sea. Worldwide, vast tracts of mangroves have been destroyed. Its significance was painfully realized after the tragedy of December 26, 2004. In many areas struck by the catastrophic tsunami, loss of life and property could have been less severe. It is critical that we realize the maze-like world of the mangroves needs our protection towards ensuring our own survival.